What's going on, YouTube? It's your host Bruce GNT, and we are back. So I've been sitting on this video for like a little bit, and the reason why is because I know the person that did it, the Officer Tatum. I like a lot of his content. Been watching for a really long time. I know that he has some more things to release, and I didn't want to jump on it, and then all of a sudden some new information came out, and then I was like, oh damn, now I gotta do a whole nother video. So for what it seems right now, it seems like all the information that I'm gonna pretty much need to, I guess, finish out this story is pretty much presented. The woman that had accused the Michael Jenkins, you know, the man in the previous video, of essentially following her, and then she had a reaction of running away with her children screaming, and then started this whole thing about people thinking that they're racist and everything like that. She and her husband, you know, Michelle Bishop is her name, and then her husband, I'm not too sure about his name, but he's gonna say it. They pretty much got contacted by Officer Tatum, and he wanted to get their story. And like I've said before, I want to get the whole story. I'm not just gonna tell one jaded side. I want the whole thing to be out because I want to give people a fair shake. You know, and that's what he did. And then after this video, we're going to jump into a friend of, or maybe a former friend of the Michael Jenkins, the black guy that was accused. And yeah, so let's jump right in. I'm going to try not to pause it too much because this is a longer video, and plus the video that we got to go over. So we're going to see how that rocks out.
So without further ado, please welcome to the show, John and Michelle Bishop. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing... I keep staying positive. We're doing good. We're hanging in there.
Yeah, hanging in there, man.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, it is my pleasure. And the reason I brought you guys on, I think you know, and everybody else that's watching this should know, that I just want you guys to get your story out there. Because when you watch a little clip that's been framed and put out, I don't know, months later or several weeks later, in an attempt to assassinate your character, I think it's invaluable for you guys to have an opportunity to say your part. So we'll start from the very beginning. And I want you to tell the audience what happened from the very beginning of when you started walking with your children to seeing that truck that led you to the front door of the Jenkins residence.
Yes. So first of all, Brandon, we have to say thank you. Just so your viewers know, you're the first person that stood up for us. So thank you so much. You were like the first glimmer of hope that we've had in 4 or 5 days. So thank you so much for stepping into this. You said this isn't what I do, but we are so appreciative. You're such a blessing to us. So the story, this whole thing. So November 19th, I was out with my children. It was just before 6 o'clock in Ohio, not like Arizona. It gets dark really early in the winter. And so my husband is always super protective, and he was like, hey, you know, it's getting dark, get home quick. And so we were finishing our run on the second half of our neighborhood, and we were jogging down the road, and it had gotten dark. The sun had gone down. We were trying to run, look at the Christmas lights, and I noticed a truck coming from behind me, and that's all that it was. It was vehicle approaching from behind me. I'm a mom in the street jogging with my little girl and my baby jogger, my little 2-year-old. And I go to the grass, and I've always been told if ever this situation happened, which I never thought it would, to go to the closest house, to act like it's your home. And so that is what I was doing. I went into the grass, started walking up the sidewalk when Michael was continuing to slowly approach, and he started to say things out the window, asking if he could help me. And so I didn't respond. I wasn't talking to him. It was a man in a vehicle. I'm with my children. It's dark. And so I told my daughter, hey, turn here, act like, you know, go up this driveway. Don't look behind you. Just walk, pretend this is your house. And so we're walking up the driveway. And at that point, we decided to go to the front porch to just knock on the door, see if somebody's there, ring the doorbell. And when I get on the doorbell get on the porch and I ring the doorbell, nobody's answering. And at that point, I am absolutely just in mom mode. I'm just doing what I think any mom would do to protect their children. I start to unbuckle my son, and I ask the man in the truck, he's still in the truck, I say to him, is this your home? And he said, yes. And at this point, there was nothing that you could say to me to make me believe anything. I was in protective mode. I was in mom mode, challenging it. I said, I don't believe that. And so I grabbed my kids. I told my daughter to run, and I ran for my life. Literally, you can hear it. Showing up at a woman's house where I was calling the police just to let them know of where I was. You know, just, hey, just get somebody on the phone with me. And I get in the woman's house, and I had told the woman that I thought he was a young white man. My husband came, and we went to get the stroller because I had left it in the front yard. And it was at that moment that the wife stepped out onto the porch. And it was that moment when I realized that it was a Black family. My husband even said to me, you know, that's a black family that lives there. He said, are you sure it wasn't? He said, are you sure it wasn't? How'd you say it? You said,
So when we went to that neighbor's house where Michelle ran to, I'm watching her on my phone, by the way. Like, I have her location. I'm like, it's getting dark. I'm going to watch her. Right. So when she stopped, I'm like, why is she stopped right there? I'm already on alert. As I'm staring at it, she calls me and I'm like, I'm going to get over there. Mm-hmm. So I get over there and they're standing out there. She's like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I called the police off, whatever. And I said, where was it? And she's like, that house right there. And I was like, well, I know that person. I mean, I've seen him in the neighborhood, seen him walking around, seen him at a buddy's birthday party. He's known here in the neighborhood, in the community. I was like, was it a black guy? She's like, no, it was a white guy. And the lady that was also there, she was like, yeah, yes. She said he was a white guy.
Yes.
So go ahead.
So yes, so I told the woman, and then again, John asked me, are you sure it wasn't a black dude? I know the man that lives there. And I said, no, I do believe it was a young white man. So I went back to the house. That was the first time they stepped out on the porch, and I realized it was in fact a black family. And he came out and I heard his voice and it was him. And I made 2 apologies right then and there. I felt very stupid. You could see it in the video. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, in my mind, I was even thinking maybe this could be his house. But in that moment, I was in complete protector mode. There was just, like I said, nothing you could say at that point that was going to get me to trust that this really was this person's house. And I ran. So that night, we truly thought it was squashed. They did not accept the apology. My husband was like, get in the truck. You know, this isn't.
They didn't accept it. They didn't accept it on the spot when you guys were in that video. Because I.
So my thing is this, right? Everything that she said is pretty much exactly what she said, you know, because the only thing is that when she did her explanation in the very first video that I did, she made it seem like, you know, his response and that the way his demeanor was aggressive and not very welcoming. And I think she was doing that to kind of save face a little bit, but that's not what I'm talking about. Like I said, my initial criticism was, you know, it gets dark. I know it gets dark. I don't even live up there. Why? And obviously she seems to be the type to be jumpy. I've seen other videos of her, like just throughout her time being online. She seems to be that type of person. Why are you out jogging at night? That's just my question, especially if you had a reaction like that. And then not only that, I'm not blaming this on 100% her, 100% the Michael, you know, from the Jenkins family. I think this was just a powder keg of just circumstances that just lined up perfectly. Because what are the odds that she was walking right by his house, he's driving down slow to look at his own house, because that's his own house, and she gets nervous, drives up on, like, not drives up, but walks up on his grass to go to his house because that's what she's thinking, okay, I gotta go to the house, pretend this is my house. And he's asking her and talking to her. She's ignoring him because she's thinking, okay, this is the right thing I have to do. I have to ignore him for my own safety. Like, everything just lined up perfectly because the odds of it being his house, the odds of her feeling so nervous that she can't answer, it being dark, all these things lined up to make this situation. And it's a really unfortunate situation because now look at this. This is a situation where now they're made to seem racist, the other family's made to seem like, you know, they are a victim in a sense, and then on the reverse end, they're made to seem like the victim. The other family looks like they're race baiters. You know what I'm saying? The only other thing is that, which really sucks, is that, and I don't really recommend people just talk to strangers. Honestly, I don't. But who knows? Maybe if she did speak to him when he was asking her questions, like, "Oh, hey, are you lost? Are you looking for something?" Maybe this whole thing could have been solved to where she would have found out, oh, hey, no, I live here. You know, like, I thought you were looking at my house, because in the other video, which I do believe, they say that people take pictures of their house and look at their house and admire their house. So my thing is, it's sad because it really could have just been solved with just a simple exchange of words. But I'm not blaming her for feeling nervous. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that it just all lined up incorrectly to where it's just like, boom. It all happened in this very volatile way. Also, too, it sucks, but people really don't have to accept your apology, you know. And I'm not saying that that's what she expected. I feel like in that moment, that's what she was kind of expecting, because she did mention, well, I kind of hope you're not mad at me and something like that. But people don't really have to accept your apology.
Heard you apologize, and everybody heard you apologize on that video. So they just didn't accept it there. Did they say, well, we don't accept the apology, or they just never acknowledged the apology?
She said from the video, he starts to turn inside, and he started to continue to say the same thing over and over.
He told you that he lived here.
He kept saying it over and over, and I kept just trying to like help de-escalate the situation and just saying, I'm sorry, you know, please understand where I'm coming from. I was just everything. Like I'm so sorry. I just trying to put him everything. I was it was awkward. It was truly awkward. And he just kept trying to justify saying, I told you I lived here. And at this
It
point,
got to the point where I just said, "Hun, this isn't going to go the way you want it to go," because I knew they're victimizing it and they're guilting her. And I said, "Get in the truck," and that's what we did.
Yeah.
And
So at
how
that
did this
point,
turn from, because this was just a Ring camera that was only available, at least at the time, to the community. This was just a small thing. It wasn't a big national incident at the time
Right.
this happened. So how did this end up going from?
And a little bit before that, I do remember saying, and I'll stick to it. I don't care what anybody says. I do remember saying, when I saw the brother on the video when he was talking to Shannon Sharp, I could see why she thought he was a white dude. I say he looked Puerto Rican, honestly, and some like, yeah, he probably did look white. So I believe, I don't care what nobody says, I say it. I believe that she really did think he was a white dude. I think it was the fact that he was a man that it made her go, oh yeah, this is a dude. I'm kind of worried. That's what I think. And I also did say that maybe there was a part of her that felt like he was a black guy. Maybe that played a part. But in all honesty, I felt like because it was a man, that's what made her kind of jumpy and was like, oh snap, why is this man talking to me? You know. And honestly, when you're in Ohio, I realize when I go to places like that, people just talk to you. Because at first, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm not used to people talking to me. Because my mindset is that, okay, what do you want? You trying to rob me? What are you trying to do to me? So my mindset nowadays, especially when I'm in certain areas, obviously I'm aware of what's going on. I keep abreast of my situation. But when people just talk to me, because I've had it happen before, people just randomly just start talking to me, I kind of just give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna, keep aware, but at the same time, I'm gonna indulge a conversation.
Neighbors having a conversation about a mistaken identity or mistaken for someone, kind of approaching you in an awkward way, to it being viral. How did that happen?
yeah. Yeah. So what happened from there that night, we were not made aware that it was a continued issue. We had no idea. We left it there. I even ran the turkey trot by his house 3 times in November with my daughter. Like I totally thought that this was just something that was in
It
the
was a
past.
misunderstanding.
I
It was
said
old news.
sorry, like truly, like I thought it was in the past. And so it was a couple mornings, a week and a half ago, maybe, that I was sitting here. I was reading my Bible, I was studying, and my husband walks in and he's like, I got to talk to you about something. No. And so he had brought it to my attention that this had become a racial matter. And I was like devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, like, wow. Okay. And so from that point, and he can add his perspective on things, I just want to make sure that this is out there. Through mutual friends in the neighborhood, it has been, we have tried to reconcile things with them in the beginning. Do they want to talk? We had somebody go over there with a handwritten statement from the woman who lived in that house, showing them that there was no intent here, no racial intent on their behalf. Can we orchestrate a meeting with you guys? Which they denied. They did not want to pursue any meeting with us. This was right after we found out that this has become an issue. So
Not even national stuff.
John brought it to me, and right away we're trying to orchestrate, having a mutual friend set this up, sit down with them. They did not want to do that. They did not care about the handwritten letter at that point. And so the next day, it was taken, maybe the next day or two. Nonetheless, it was very quickly. The Ring doorbell footage was brought to the Facebook page with this same understanding about unity, and we need to work on this as a community.
When you say Facebook page, you mean like a community Facebook page with just people in the community, or is it just your Facebook page?
Yeah, thanks. It was our community residence page that had just shy of 500 people in the page. And so at that point, my face was on the Ring doorbell. We love our community. We're very engaged in our community. And so I was like, they know who this is. They know it's me. It's my daughter's face, like ringing the doorbell. And so I was like, I need to make sure the community knows my heart behind this, the intent behind this, what happened. So I went on live. I'm very lengthy in my explanations, but I get on and I just pour my heart out, saying, I'm so sorry, how stupid I felt. I have that video, pouring my heart out, addressing DeMichael and Brittany specifically, telling them that I'm so sorry. I understand their point of view or where they're coming from, that I'm sorry that I didn't hold their heart in that night, understanding where they were coming from, but I was truly just protecting my kids. So my heart was given to them that day in that video, and it was not accepted again. And then in comments, as people were continuing to be upset with us through the community, multiple neighbors jumping on board. I got in the comments and I tagged Brittany again. And I said, my video today was with the hopes of reconciling things with you. And if ever given the opportunity, I would love to show you who we really are. And that was never accepted. And so within a couple of days, the page actually was taken down, not our doing. And then within, I think the next day, we started getting blown up on all of our social media accounts with all sort of hate threats. And we realized that.
How did it make you guys feel when people were saying you were racist, right? Because that's the framing of it. The white woman don't like a black man in the community, boogie black man. How dare a black man be in this affluent community? Like, what did that make you feel like when they tried to frame it that?
That's not the way I framed it, and that's not the way I saw it. I just saw it as that she saw a black guy and then just got spooked because apparently sometimes we can be scary. I've asked people like, okay, what is your first impression of me? They say, yeah, you're like a big black guy. And I'm just like, I don't really think I'm that big. You know, I'm a decent size. And I've had people tell me like how I look walking. They said I come off intimidating because like I stand, well, it's just how I was raised, I guess. I stand tall, my shoulders pushed back and my chest pushed out and everything like that. And I have a serious look on my face. So that's the way I took it. I took it as like, oh, look, she just saw a black guy and she automatically thought, this guy's dangerous, because I've been in situations like that where people have looked at me and I know that's what it is. I go to certain stores and people follow me around. It's like, okay, I don't want your little knickknacks here. I just want to go, you know, get some honey buns that I know are not good for me, but I still eat them anyway. Anyway, yeah, that's how I took it. I didn't see it as like the whole neighborhood thing because, like I said, I go through all throughout Ohio. I see people throughout all different types of neighborhoods and whatnot. You know, the minute I saw it, I was like, oh, she just saw a black dude and got scared. Not that it was his house, and I didn't see it like that.
That way, you know, knowing who you guys are, what is that? What did that make you feel like?
What at first you're like, what was said? You know, like what was said, and we're like, we didn't say anything. So we really had to try to identify what was being said. So we actually had to look for comments and posts of other people saying, oh, they did this. And I'm like, is that what's going on? Is that the narrative? So it took us a minute, me, to figure out.
I don't mean to overspeak you.
Yeah.
In complete honesty, I think I felt every single emotion. I have felt, at first, it's like this knee jerk of like, what are they saying about us? Like, is that like, how could they say that about us? And then you start to get hurt because you're like, of all people, if you know me, like I am the biggest people pleaser. I'm praying for the Lord to deliver me of that. I want everybody to be seen. I want everybody to be included. And so, truly, I was like, man, in this neighborhood, like my home, like I don't want this negative spin that I would ever be somebody to reject somebody. And so I've had every emotion coursing through my veins, but I'm trying to just continue to like have a gentle heart, because I think that's, I mean, what they need to continue to see. Like there was never any ill intent behind it at all. And so I know that you felt the same way.
Especially within our neighborhood. I mean, this is our community, and this is a small community. It's, you know, it's like a new urbanism community, you know, where everybody knows your name. It's like Cheers in here, you know, and literally like one of my best friends, man, my boys, he's a black guy. We work out every single day together, dude. He's my business partner in here. We did vacation last year. Our neighbors right next door, you know, our daughters are best friends. She's black. So
she caught it. She was like, honey, don't do the whole my friend's a black guy thing. I understand what he's saying. I get it. Like, I completely understand. Like I said in my previous video, nowadays, the way things are, when you're a white person being called racist, especially online, and you have an online presence, whether it's a business or just a personality, that's almost a death sentence. Especially when you're like just a normal person, that's a death sentence, and it's sad. I'm not gonna say it's not usually the black people, but you get it from all sides, because those liberal white people, man, they go hard in the paint. Ooh, nasty work. Nasty work. You think that you did something to them from the way they be going hard. Shoot, man. Man, it's crazy out there. But it's okay, buddy. You don't gotta say you got black friends. I know, like I said before, I don't think that they're racist. I don't. You know, they seem like cool people. I've said it before, I don't trust people whose eyebrows don't move when they speak. Hers don't. It looks like he has none. So I guess they kind of balance each other out. But yeah, well, they seem like genuine people from what I've seen. Honestly, that's how I feel.
Like to see these things, and they know who we are and who our friends are, and our very community saying those things about us. Man, it was a case of ostracism that, man, I've never experienced in my life, and it sucked.
Yeah, we're trying really hard not to even have to mention our friends that are Black. Like, we want to keep
I don't even
that.
like saying that,
No,
because
I
like, those
know.
are just my friends, you know.
And I
But
don't
then I
want to
have
have
to
to bring
like,
other people into any of this. So
Yeah.
it's so unfortunate that it's like that's even being
Well, they even
questioned.
Yeah, it makes sense though, because
they're
I
like,
think
bring me in.
I think people should know that, like,
They literally,
they frame you guys, and this is what made me so upset. They frame you guys as like these white people who've never seen Black people before, and the idea that a Black man is driving down the street spooked you. Even if he was like walking down the street, somehow it'll spook you guys. When in fact, you know, you guys are not these white folks that they're not around Black people or don't have. I want them to know what business you have, so they can give a blessing to your business instead of these haters trying to tear it down. So you guys have 2 businesses, I think. The brick and mortar business, and you guys have the training business. Is that what it is?
yeah, we're juggling a lot. Yeah. So I mean,
You're entrepreneurs, huh?
Yeah. So we have the cookie shop that's called Crave Cookies. It's in the very neighborhood that we live in.
My business is the Ladies Edge, and just a shout out to them because I know they're watching you. You have gained an army of my girls.
For this. Yep.
We've been operating for 7 years. The Lord has been so divine in His plan for it. My logo even means defense. I mean, we cling to 1 Peter 3:15. Always be prepared to give a reason for the hope that you have. And my girls have been my rock. Like, they keep telling me, like, no matter what happens, wherever you go, we're going with you. And it is just, the Ladies Edge is such a phenomenal group of people.
Special.
So I hope
They're
you feel
special.
some extra love from them, Brandon.
Yeah. I hope so. So we're gonna put the links. We'll put the links in the description section so people can go and support and go and sign up, get a boot camp or something. I don't know. They get their protein shakes or whatever they got, and then if they're local, they can come by and show some love to the cookie shop, man. Because we want to support you guys. I want to support you. I want everybody that's watching this to show support, because good people like you guys will fall by the wayside through these ignorant devils that want to make everything about race. But instead, we have to uplift people like you guys, God-fearing family, a good couple that's just trying to do the right thing. So is there anything else you guys like to add or clarify that's been put out there that's incorrect?
No, I would like to add, if given the opportunity, I just think that there's a hope that surpasses this world. And we have been standing in such great faith. And our hearts haven't been shaken to the degree that I think a lot of the world would be in this moment of just truly understanding. Like, I do think that there's so much good that's going to come out of this with our story, and just showing people, like, we will continue to answer everything with love and gentleness. And our hearts are open. And so I just hope that above all, like, I decrease and that the truth prevails. And nothing can stop the Lord's plan. So let His will be done.
Amen. Well, John and Michelle, thank you so much for coming on. God bless you guys. I'm rooting for you, man. I can't wait to, as soon as we get off this live stream, I'm going to go check out the little boot camp, and I'm going to see, what kind of, I know I probably can't get them from way over here in Arizona, but I definitely going to send as many people as I can to go and dine with you guys, because you just deserve that. What they did to you guys was just unacceptable. So God bless you. God bless your family. And you guys feel free to reach out anytime.
We'll send cookies your way. You're going to get some to Arizona.
Hey, I'll take them any day of the week.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. We love you.
Yeah, God bless you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have.
So before he jumps into the next part, because he's going to kind of expose the other family, the Jenkins family, about how they're grifting and trying to make a whole big scenario out of this situation. To pretty much close that part out, like I said before, I don't think that she intentionally was like, look, I'm going to get this black man. I don't think so, because in her original video and then in this one too, she's kept consistent from what I can see, and then seemingly other people corroborate her story. And even when it came to the police, it's not like she called the police and said, hey, look, come out. She was just like, look, I just want you to know what's going on. And maybe the wool is pulled over my eyes. Maybe I'm just a fool. Don't know. But based off of what I'm seeing and what I'm being told, I take things at face value. It doesn't come off like that. And like I've said previously, and I'll continue to say, I don't believe in attacking someone to where they can't support themselves in their business, because That's not right. I don't think that anyone should be put in a position to where they can't provide for their family and they can't do the basic necessities. People attacking their business based off of this social issue, that's wrong. That's foul. I don't think that's right. Especially when it's a situation that's kind of, there's so many different variables and it's so hard to just say, okay, straight up, these people are terrible, they're racist. No. Cause I said in the original video when I first saw it, I was like, oh, I think she probably just saw a dude and was just kind of spooked by it. I should stay in the house and not be, jogging so late. But be that as it may, that's what I think the situation was. And yeah, hopefully more power to them. Hopefully they can get their, hopefully this situation over time just de-escalates and they can get back on track and do what they gotta do and improve, not so much prove, but through their own actions just show that, hey, they're actually genuine people, and it seems like that's what they're gonna do, and more prosper to their business. If you don't like it, I don't care. But yeah, let's jump right in, because he pretty much is gonna expose the Jenkins family for being grifters, and then right after that we have another video where someone that worked with Michael Jenkins is pretty much gonna speak on his character a little bit, but I'm gonna keep that one short.
John Michelle Bishop, and as you can just see, and I'm willing to have the other Jenkins on. If Jenkins didn't want to come on, they come on here. Can you bring up the clip of Homeboy just recently and him grifting like I knew he would? Play Trent's clip first. Play Trent's clip.
If you just saw that picture, no lie, the dude does not look black. Like, he don't look like me. Because at night, I look darker. He looked like he could be. So I can see and I could definitely understand that she thought it was a white dude. The dude looked like he got the melanin sucked out of him. Like, can we be honest? Can we be real? Can I say that? I can say that. It doesn't matter. I said it. I'm staying to it.
But let's listen to his grift. Roll it.
Hey y'all, the Michael Jenkins here, 3D Visions. I know a lot of y'all been reaching out, trying to figure out how to get into new development, new construction. I want to help 10 people get started in new construction. If you're interested, comment the word 10 and I'll send you the link. Let's get it.
This next video is pretty much going to be someone that had worked with, the Michael Jenkins and kind of exposes him in a sense, saying that he's not as on the up and up as people like to make it seem and how he portrays himself. We're going to try to keep this one short. It probably won't be.
All right, Mike. What's going on, brother?
Hey. How we doing?
So I'm doing well. You reached out to me, or I got in contact with you. We spoke a little bit before this, yesterday before this. And you made mention to me that you know this gentleman, Mr. Jenkins, through a business relationship. And some of the things that I exposed about him yesterday, at least some of the things with the foreclosure and stuff, you have more knowledge about. Can you just tell the audience, and this is for me, for my audience, it's allegedly. I don't know. I can't verify what you're saying, but I'm going to give you your voice. And if the gentleman want to come on and give his side, I'll give him his side. But yeah, I just want you to give us a perspective of what is your experience with Mr. Jenkins? What kind of business deals did you do? And what kind of developer is he, according to your experience with him?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm picking up a little lag on my end. Are we good on your end?
Yeah, totally good.
Okay, cool. So me and DeMichael Jenkins goes by the name of Mikey 3D in the real estate space out here. We got into business about 2 years ago. And still all good?
Yep.
Okay. It went to a single screen. But yeah, we got into business about 2 years ago. And how we got into business is I met him at a real estate event. And then I wanted to get into new builds. He had a couple new builds underway already. And more of the story, this could be a very long story, so I'll try to sum it up. But more of the story is he, at that time, what he expressed to me is that he had a contractor that was running those two new constructions run off with the funds. So he then needed a capital partner. Now, my company could provide the capital for these deals, as well as we're licensed and bonded general contractors as well. So we could run the project via our permits, the whole 9 yards. So we got into business. Fast forward, I've invested $303,000 to the dollar on one of the properties, and then on the second property, I invested $147,000. And come to find out, this whole entire time, I was pretty much just being used and taken advantage for the accessibility to the funds that my company could acquire via, just doing right business, right? Filing taxes, paying your taxes, and being well equipped to go get loans from the bank. So I secured supplier lines of credit to run our business. So to buy supplies like lumber, windows, doors, pretty much any and every material that you need to build a new construction. I, went to the supplier, submitted all my financials, submitted the loan docs, the whole 9 yards, and got secured. And we're talking pretty hefty lines of credit here because we're developing at a pretty large rate here. We're doing about 5 of them throughout the time of our partnership. But man, long story short, I was just being drugged through the mud, man. Taken advantage of. What transpired from all that?
So just real quick, so you guys go into partnership? You were the financier of the projects.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't he finance anything? Like, why couldn't it be a mutual financial thing? Was he able to do it? Did he just not want to do it? Did he claim he was going to do it but didn't do it? Why did he not finance some of these projects as well?
So on those 2 original projects, him and his wife, under the business 3D Visions, financed those builds. So they did finance those builds. But as we got through future deals and started closing loans on other lots to then put new construction, so we would get the lot and the construction loan all in one. So we just did one closing, one funding of that asset. I come to find out he didn't have tax returns, and his credit score was I believe a 500 at the time. So he didn't have tax returns, and he didn't have a credit score. So he wasn't equipped enough.
He had 0 tax returns. You mean that he did not file, that you know of, any business?
Listen here, man. Do your taxes. Do your taxes. You don't want to deal with the worst mafia out there in the world. The IRS. Do your taxes, bro. Do your taxes. Y'all don't want to mess with them. Y'all don't. Y'all don't want to owe the IRS taxes. Uncle Sam will get his money. Do your taxes. Please. And if you don't do your taxes, don't come online saying you don't do your taxes. I'm not saying he's saying that, but I'm just saying in general, don't do that. Do your taxes.
Income tax returns?
Zero.
He didn't have any W-2s that he would use in order to, I guess, help the bank understand the income that was coming in from both partners?
Zero. Matter of fact, when we went to go close the loans, I had to go up to 90% guarantor on the loan, and he had to come down to 10%. We closed the loans under our business together, but I had to go up to 90% on the operating agreement, and he had to go down to 10%. And to give you just a little recap of this guy's character, as we departed from our partnership, when it came to finishing the deals, he basically abandoned them. And then what I was told through the attorney that represents both of us is that he thought, since he only was signing on the dotted line for 10%, that he didn't really have an obligation to see those projects out.
And so we looked at the public record, and it shows that there was 5 properties. I think there was 5 properties. 3 were under foreclosure, and 2 were under a legal, I don't know, civil lawsuit or something like that. What is?
Yeah,
were you in those properties with him, or what?
Yeah. So I'm getting pretty much suffering the damages from the partnership with him as well. As far as I'm on those properties as well, because there is no deal without me signing on the loan and getting the financing for the loans. So of course that hits me as well. And also when it comes to the other, so I have 2 liens on those properties myself. I have a lien for an amount of $303,000 and one for $147,000. But what happened here, what transpired here, is that I was just pretty much being used along the entire process in his overall hope that I feel is premeditated from the beginning of our partnership to build the home him and his family reside in now, in the quote unquote wealthiest neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio. So I was in business with this guy. never, not once, was a multi-million-dollar home developed. You know what I mean? Furthermore, none of the homes have been developed and sold. They haven't been executed. Because again, I feel that throughout this process, it was premeditated, that he was just trying to get to one goal and one goal only. And that was to build this home for his family, well, pretty much using all my access, my subs, my access to financing, my crews, the whole 9 yards, in doing so.
That's crazy. What's the name of your company, if you don't mind?
The name of my company is Yausis Estates. I have quite a few companies, but the overall main company is Yausis Estates Construction. That's the preferred builder company here in this neighborhood.
Cool. Michael, is there anything else you'd like to add that you want to be out there or you feel like hadn't been disclosed in all of these media appearances that DeMichael or DeMarcus or whatever his name is, that Mr. Jenkins had to say? Is there anything you want to debunk, or have you, I guess, spoken of all the things that you want to clear up?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I heard this story running, I was like, man, I can't believe what I'm seeing. So Mr. Jenkins has made it extremely clear and evident that his number one goal is to do whatever he has to do by all means necessary to keep living the lifestyle that he's living, right? It doesn't matter who he hurts, what business he hurts, what family he hurts. It doesn't matter who he runs across in the dirt to get there. He has made it extremely evident that he is willing to do any and everything by all means necessary to keep living the lifestyle he did. Before partnering with Mr. Jenkins, our company, it was a pretty successful company. Not to brag or boast, all honor and glory goes to God for what He's blessed us with in our company. But this company was did things right. We did things right. We filed our taxes. We paid our taxes. We were we got personal tax returns, business tax returns. We can go to a bank and get approved for $2, $3, $4 million for our business. We did do that actually. And this company was staffed. We had W-2 employee on staffed with benefits. We had project managers staffed. We had about 70 subs. So we were a very well equipped company that was all formulated through hard work and sacrifice, right? After partnering with DeMichael Jenkins, it is strictly just me and my family. Our family is a family-owned and operated company, by the way, but it's just pretty much me and my family. And we've had to pivot. We tried to keep people on salary, on payroll as long as we could, but it just came to a certain point where we kind of had to pivot because this was a big blow, right? DeMichael Jenkins pretty much, abandoned every single investment and left me to deal with the damages of that. So just to say that, after hearing about this story and this storyline, it seems like he's trending to do the same things with the bishops. You know what I mean? And I would hate for an individual like that to be broadcasted on such a large platform and be deemed credible when that's not the truth. Like I said, he's willing to do any and everything to just keep living the lifestyle he's doing, and that's what it seems like it's trending for the bishops, right? They're pretty well put together from what I can see. You know what I mean? They seem like they have successful businesses, and again, I would hate for that to happen to anyone else. Furthermore, I mean, we're just talking about the business dealings with Mikey. We're not talking about the personal, mental, emotional effects it's had on me and my family. Again, we're a family-owned and operated business, so we're not talking about the traumas that we've had to endure through this year and a half now since departing from the partnership with Mikey, and we're left to clean up all the damages. But man, my parents, they lived their life, they did things, and they bought real estate, they sold that real estate, went off to Florida in hopes to retire. And then now they're back here, and my dad straps on the tool belt himself to keep things moving, in our company, so we can save on costs and stuff. I mean, they lived their life. They put in their time.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Well, I'm hoping the best for you, man. Like I say, I hope that you're able to, if in fact these things had happened to you, which I'm led to believe they are true, although obviously, everybody got their own side of the coin, but after listening to you and watching how he operate, it kind of is clear that he probably is the bad guy in this situation. But man, I hope the best for you. I hope you can, recoup your money in any means that's legal, right? Whether suing him or whatever the case may be. But I appreciate it, man. Send me a link. I think you sent us a link. Send my guy a link to your business so we can shout you out. And if people want to be a part of it, they can be a part of it. But I appreciate you coming on, brother. I really do. And I hope the best for you, man. And I hate that happened to you, dealing with that guy who just seems like such a crook, in my opinion.
Like I said, this was not going to be short. But that's what all I wanted to do. I wanted to get all sides of the coin, all sides of the story, because I think it's imperative for me that I'm going to talk about certain things, especially situations like this. I need to tell the whole truth, or at least the whole story, because I believe that within the truth, I should say that I believe within stories there are little nuggets of truth, because I can't look at him and say that he's lying. I take things with a grain of salt, but at the same time I hear what people say and I take it at face value. And what I mean by that is that I hear what he's saying, I hear what everyone else is saying, and I go, okay, cool. There has to be some truth somewhere in the middle between all of that. And I take, even though he's telling his story and it seems to be true for the most part, based off of his experiences and just how he's saying it, I still had to take it with a grain of salt and be like, okay, you know what? Anyone can lie, they have ulterior motives and everything like that. So I just think it's imperative for me to at least give people what seems to be the full story so they can make their own decisions and draw their own conclusions. And then at the end of the day, the truth will be revealed. That's what I think. But this video is way too long anyway, But I just want to do like an update, a follow-up to the follow-up, so people can know what's going on and it can at least reach the ears of the masses so they can make their own decisions. If there's anything else, hopefully not. Maybe this is the finale. I doubt it, but you never know nowadays how things online just work out. But if there's anything else, I'll make another video, make sure that I have all my ducks in a row, all the information that I can get, and then talk about it here for you guys so you guys can find out as well. But you know the drill. If you like the video, leave a like, comment down below what you think. If you have any information, let me know. Then I could probably find out the best way I can, what's going on. And subscribe if you want more. There'll definitely be more if there's more news that drops. Peace.